shadows lost in the haze, echoes of approval caught in their gaze. But deep in the silence, a voice softly speaks. The journey inside is where the answer mirrors we chase. We're mirrors in the crowd, lost in the spin, searching for the light that begins within. Through shadows lost in the haze, the truth is clear, it's ringing sincere. The approval you need is right here. On a dark desert highway, the signs aren't clear, chasing the echoes of someone near. But the road bends back and the truth appears. What you're seeking is already here. Step off the stage, let the spotlight fade. The path to yourself is where strength is made. Break the illusion, let the mask fall. You have the power to rise through it all. We're mirrors in the crowd, lost in the spin, searching for the light that begins within. The truth is clear, it's ringing sincere. The approval you need is right here. You can check out anytime you like, but the way back home is a different stripe. The road winds deep where the heart must mend. The journey within is where it begins. Crystal clear, the approval you need is right here. As the echoes fade and the silence glows, the journey ends where the true light shows. No longer seeking, no longer a spin. You find your strength, it begins within. Welcome, everybody. My name is Shawn Keen, and this is the AI for the Blind Club Ask Me Anything event. I'm so glad you're here on Double Tap, and let me just take this opportunity to thank Double Tap and Stephen and Shawn and everybody involved with this to help us make this happen. This is fantastic. We're going to have a great time today. So let me talk a little bit about who I am and what we're doing here today. My name is Shawn Keen, and I started this group on Facebook about 2 years ago, and it's evolved into the AI for the Blind Club. And it's simply just a place for blind and low vision folks to learn how to use artificial intelligence, not just for the things we use them for independence, but for fun things like the music you just heard. And if you're able to see me, the background I have is all AI generated. And the AI for the Blind Club is really the best place to learn about AI. Anything with artificial intelligence and blindness, you want to go there and join the club. there's about 15,000 people there. So I'm sure you'll find somebody to talk to. But this isn't about that. Let me move on to what we're doing here today. And I got two amazing, really great people with me today, and I'm going to give them a moment to introduce themselves. Um, we have Mike Buckley of Be My Eyes, and if you don't know what Be My Eyes is, well, you're about to find out. They always got something amazing going on, and so let's take a chance to let Mike Buckley talk and tell about himself and Be My Eyes.
Hi, everybody. Shawn, thanks for that, and thanks for doing this. I've been involved with Be My Eyes since 2018 as a member of the board, and I took over as CEO in December of 2022. And I think a lot of you probably know what Be My Eyes is, but in short, it's one of the largest collectives of blind and low vision humans in the world. More than 900,000 blind and low vision people have signed up for Be My Eyes. And we offer three principal things. One is the ability to call a live human volunteer in over 150 countries and 180 languages for relatively immediate and seamless support with visual needs. Well over 90% of these calls are successful. We run into telecom issues in some countries, as you might expect. And it's a lovely merger of technology and human kindness. Second thing we offer is completely free is state-of-the-art AI visual interpretation. We were one of the early partners with OpenAI on GPT-4. We do more than 3 million sessions a month. We just got our 10 billion tokens processed plaque from OpenAI, which is kind of crazy to think about. And so there's an AI element too, which is really about giving the blind or low vision human being the option to choose how they want to interact with the world, either through a volunteer or through the AI. And the third thing that we offer is access to companies for enhanced customer service through the service directory tab in our app, which literally enables better, faster customer service experiences for companies like Microsoft and Hilton and Spotify and Emirates Airlines and Sony. And so it's a growing part of what we do and how we pay our bills. And then we have some cool partnerships with companies like InnoSearch and Patrick Long. But enough about Be My Eyes, and I'll turn it back to you, Shawn.
Thank you so much. And I used I used Be My Eyes this morning, both the AI and the volunteers, to set my desk up and set this whole atmosphere up. And I mean, I'm a fan. I've been a fan for a long time. So if you haven't tried Be My Eyes, you should download it and give it a try. It might be that you're watching this right now in the Be My Eyes app. And that's a cool little community thing that they've done here for us. Pretty amazing. Next, I want to introduce Patrick Long, co-founder of InnoSearch AI. And Patrick, take a little bit of time to talk about who you are and what is InnoSearch.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Shawn and the Double Tap team for putting this together. And thank you so much, Mike, as well, for participating in this. Hi, everybody. My name is Patrick Long. I'm one of the co-founders alongside Brian and the CEO of InnoSearch AI. My journey in this began because I saw how frustrating the online world was for people with blindness and low vision. Simple things like adding items to cart or entering payment information, navigating forms, things that sighted people take for granted and that use every day is something that people with blindness and low vision basically find impossible, right? And that is the frustration and pain point that became the spark for InnoSearch, right? Which we call the accessibility layer for the internet. Our mission is very simple. We really want to make the world's websites usable for every person in a very seamless and easy fashion. The world is becoming more and more digital, and without great solutions, there's just so many people that will be left out in the dark. And so, over the past year or so, we've been iterating and building a lot, and a lot of you have used our product. So at the heart of InnoSearch really is on the consumer side, right? So we make it very easy, very simple for people to shop and buy items, right? There's over 500,000 retailers on InnoSearch today, over 1 billion products in our catalog. So you can very easily find things like your favorite running shoes, new headphones. Very simply, you can navigate from tons of retailers, find the best possible product for you, and best of all, it's all in an accessible format. So we use AI and other technologies to get the relevant products, and we have all the product images properly described as well. So common frustrations, right, like poorly labeled images, poor website structure is completely eliminated because you can do all your shopping experience straight direct from InnoSearch. That was our first initial product, and since then have been getting lots of feedback from the community. Some folks have told us they would like to book flights. Other folks have said food and grocery delivery is very important to them. So at InnoSearch, the community is truly at our core. We listen to feedback and suggestions very openly. And soon, in the months following, we also released flight and grocery delivery as well. So now you can also book flights on InnoSearch. All domestic and international flights are supported. If you need guide dog support or special help once you arrive at the airport, you can do that as well, all direct on InnoSearch. You never have to leave our experience. Voice has also been a great suggestion. And so recently we also launched the 1855 Shop GPT phone line, where you can dial in and get access to our entire catalog 24/7, speaking to a live AI agent. And it works on any phone, any landline, no internet connection required. Recently, we've been starting to scale up and try to partner more closely with businesses. So there are 2 new exciting products InnoSearch is now offering. We're calling the first Cobrowse AI, which is an embedded AI accessibility agent that can be added to any website. It's just one single line of JavaScript code, and it can make your website literally talk. So any website can now have all the great accessibility enhancements of InnoSearch with just one simple line of JavaScript code. Also, we've gotten lots of requests from retailers to add their products onto InnoSearch. So there's a second product we're launching for business, which is called the Accessible Storefront. It's very easy for a blind entrepreneur or a business targeting blind individuals to spin up a storefront, and it already has preloaded all the wonderful accessibility features InnoSearch has built for the various products that we've offered for the consumer. So all of that is very exciting for us. But I also want to mention none of that would have been possible without you, the community. So we really thank you for your support and feedback over the years. And also very proud to partner with a lot of great organizations like Shawn's AI for the Blind, like Double Tap, and of course, Be My Eyes and the NFB. All of this we think wouldn't have been possible without all of our great partners helping us evangelize and get our product known to the community. So thank you so much, Shawn, for putting this together, and looking forward to the engaging questions.
All right. Well, thanks so much, and we're going to get to those questions in a few minutes. But let me just set the stage for this, and I'm here to tell you as a InnoSearch partner that if you're blind or low vision and you have a product to sell online, using InnoSearch is the way to do it. And if you want to learn more about that, then connect with me, and we'll definitely get you hooked up on that. So we had some folks in the AI for the Blind Club group submit questions that I'm going to go through here shortly. But if you're watching anywhere and you would like to get your questions in, I mean, we'll answer anything you ask. And you can go join the AI for the Blind Club and on Facebook. Just go to Facebook, do a search for AI for the Blind Club. You can join us that way. A real simple way is just to go to aiftb.com, and that's our AI for the Blind website. You can join the group that way, and just look for the live event and pop your question in the comments, and we'll definitely get to that. We're actually running ahead of schedule here, so that's great. That's great. I'm going to alternate with these first 4 or 5 questions between Mike and Patrick, and then once we get to about the 12:40 mark, if you have questions, drop them in the group, in the AI for the Blind Club group, and we'll get to them at that point. I think we'll be ahead of that possibly. So do get your questions in. The first question I have submitted was probably something Mike Buckley has been asked quite a bit lately, and it has to do with that video that was released a couple of years ago, I think, and it was of this live AI thing. Can you tell us about that, Mike? Like, what happened? Like, what happened to that? Oops.
We got a call from OpenAI saying, hey, we want to do this video and demo this new possibility, which was functionally a very near real-time interpretation of live surroundings, right? And so we tested it out and showed it like hailing a taxi in the UK, and whatnot.
Oops.
And the truth, sorry, are we good, Shawn?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, the truth is that it is very interesting, but OpenAI has not made the API or the underlying technology for that available to developers yet. So that's the first thing that I would say. And I want to say also that had I known that we would not get access to that, which is now 15 months later, we never would have agreed to do that video. So that is a mistake that we made, right? The second thing that I would say is what we've learned about that technology, and Gemini has some of this capability, Grok has some of this capability, OpenAI has some of this capability in their app, is that it's not truly live. There's a little bit of a latency and a little bit of delay. And if you try any of these services out there, like the test I always use is I hold up 5 fingers and I slowly count them down and I ask the AI to describe in real time what's happening, and it can never do it. So there's a lot of latency in terms of the ability to interpret things in a live fashion. And we do have some concerns about that, about what that means for people in a real world setting. Could it create confusion or safety challenges? But this is a very long answer, Shawn. The short story is we will be launching that at some point. I'm not going to give a date because our chief marketing officer will yell at me. Um, um, but again, we wouldn't have done that video in the time frame that we did if we knew it was going to be this long of a lag. It's cool technology. It's imperfect. It's coming, but I'm not ready to commit to a date yet.
Yeah, and that's interesting because that's kind of a point I've been making for a while now, is that there's some lag to this AI, and it's not to say that it's not useful. It really is, but it's not something you would trust your life on. That I think personally.
Agreed. Like, you wouldn't want to do kind of like real time navigational stuff, crossing the street, right? Because that lag is potentially problematic.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're waiting for a computer to respond to an image. I mean, even a sighted person could have challenges responding in quick real time, I think.
Agreed.
So that's good to know. Let me look here. My next question is for Patrick, and it's simply, if someone wants to open an InnoSearch store to sell their product, like what's the process? How do they do that?
Yeah, so opening a store on InnoSearch is very easy. You simply can send an inquiry to our team and let them know you would like to have a storefront. The setup process is very simple. You can give us your either inventory list of items, or if you have an existing store, we can also port all the information automatically directly from the existing store that you have. And once you have your storefront on InnoSearch, we will host the domain for you. There's a notification system that lets you know every time an item is being sold, so you can ship it to the appropriate person. And also, we manage the payments as well. So, anytime you make a sale, we can also, dispatch your payout appropriately to whatever way you prefer. So it's very simple and accessible. It's done by design this way, so people who have blindness or low vision don't have to struggle with complicated website setup. Right? I know there's a lot of products out there like WooCommerce or Stripe or even Shopify. Those can be very challenging at times to navigate and use and set up. And so we make it very easy for you. You can just simply provide us all the product information, what you'd like, the branding, and our team will, pull something together for you. So it's very easy and very simple. And we've already started to work with quite a few clients that enjoyed the process, and their stores are live and accepting orders.
So essentially, everything but shipping, the customer still has to, or the store owner still has to ship the item.
That's right. So we don't manage the fulfillment, but we will let you know whenever an item is sold. And so you still would need to take care of the shipping. That's correct. We don't have a warehouse or
Yeah.
something that will warehouse it.
Oh, that's fantastic. That really is. That makes a world of difference. And I've tried Shopify about 3 different times, hoping each time it would be easier. And they claim it's super easy to do, but not if you're blind. It's it's not easy at all. So not easy that I could never get it to work. But this InnoSearch is great. This is really useful, really helpful.
Yeah, and
But
the mission of this really is to give that independence, right? Sense of entrepreneurial excitement for those who are blind and low vision, right? It can be a way for them to maybe create some pottery, right? Or there's some services that they like to offer, and it's like a way for them to advertise and make a name for themselves. So it's something that we've seen very much resonate well with blind entrepreneurs, folks that really struggle with the traditional marketplaces, right? And they just need a simple and easy solution, right? That really caters directly to them, and that's what InnoSearch accessible storefronts are.
fantastic. Yeah. I would double what he's saying there. That is just very important to someone that's blind to be able to operate a storefront. That makes a big difference. Let me move along back to Mike now. And this is something that me and my wife have talked about on occasion, and that sometimes I'll open the Be My Eyes app just to ask a question, not necessarily to take a picture, but just to ask an AI question. And have y'all considered adding just a chat only feature to that?
Yes.
Good.
We literally just had product meetings in Copenhagen. I don't know, 8 or 10 days ago, whenever it was, and I think that it's a direction we're likely to explore. I mean, that our new head of product is really looking into a lot of these things. In terms of what would have the most utility, right? And for people in the community, and what would result in the most joy. And so I think you're going to see in the next 3 to 6 months, hopefully a little sooner, but it's certainly in the next 3 to 6 months, a lot of new product experiments like this, Shawn. So it's a good question. I think it's an important need, and why wouldn't we enable it if it's basically built on the same underlying technology and backbone, right?
Yeah, and funny enough, I mean, sometimes I'll take a picture and just leave the chat open so I can come back to it later to ask a question.
Yeah, and
So
you can ask a question about anything, right? It doesn't have to
yeah,
be the picture, right?
exactly, exactly. I mean, yeah, yeah. So that's super useful, and be able to do that on on the fly. That's gonna be great. That's really helpful. Patrick, I'm going to move this question back to you, and I know you kind of covered some of this in your introduction, but can you talk about the shop by phone feature? Because that's really important, especially to seniors. I think would definitely benefit for something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. The shop by phone, or actually anything by phone, has been a big hit from our customers. Some folks even place orders using a hotel landline because maybe they don't have internet connection or it's just not convenient. So anything phone really has been a big hit, and people are very excited by that. So, what it does actually is it connects the existing catalog and all of our, web crawling technologies with a phone line service. It's completely toll free. It operates 24/7, right? And it's like an AI agent that's all voice operated that you can speak with, right? And it can guide you through the entire shopping process from product discovery, right? So you can tell it, I need a I need a pair of shoes for an upcoming wedding. Can you suggest some to me in black color? Right? It can understand that, and basically using that natural language, search our entire catalog. And the AI will recommend a few products for you. You can add to cart. So there's all of those cart management functionalities built into the phone line as well. And once you're happy with your order, you can go ahead and check out. So the phone line is able to also complete the checkout and also shipping. So completely end to end, from product discovery to receiving your item in front of your door, can be taken care of by the phone. So yeah, a lot of customers have really, really enjoyed it, and we have a lot of plans to make anything by phone even more robust within InnoSearch.
Yeah, people still like to use the phone. Amazingly, people still like to dial on the phone. I like to dial on the phone, and that's definitely popular. What about food? Can you order food that way?
So right now it's integrated with our e-commerce features. So flight booking and food currently is not available by the phone line, but those are some things we're investigating to add soon.
Gotcha, gotcha. Um, it's about, let's see, what time is it? It is 12:27. We're about 15 minutes ahead of schedule, but I do want to mention again, if you have questions, to go to the AI for the Blind Club and drop your questions in the comments, and we will get to them shortly. The next question's for Mike, and I, he kind of touched on this in the last question, but these guys got so many things going on that I'm sure I'll have some answer. And that's, what about a roadmap? Like, what is there something new in the next 12 months, 6 months you can tell us about?
Yes. There are a few things, and I have to decide how much I'm going to piss off our chief marketing officer right now, Shawn, by telling you first. But what the hell? He said I'm used to him yelling at me. So we're going to launch a workplace product.
Oh,
If you talk to people who are blind or have low vision, who are on the job and in the workplace, there are so many frustrations and so many barriers and so many inaccessible elements of workplace environments that we just felt we wanted to do something. And so we're going to be launching a piece of software that makes other software in a company more accessible, and also has kind of AI in it, human rollover options. It's in beta right now with a few partners. So that's something that's going to come out. there are so many incredibly talented people who are blind or have low vision who are either unemployed or underemployed because of inaccessible systems and structures that exist in broader society. So it's something that we want to attack in the same way, for example, that InnoSearch has attacked shopping as being one of the most inaccessible elements of life. We think employment in the workplace is one for us as well. So that's one. Second is you will be seeing some updates in terms of AI. I don't want to go too far here in terms of what we're going to make available to people, but there are some cool things that we're going to launch. The other thing is you're going to see enhanced functionality on the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. You will be able to do more things that you're currently able to do in Be My Eyes on the glasses. And so I'm not ready to kind of announce that yet, but we've got a pretty aggressive development roadmap for the Ray-Ban Meta glasses, which I'm really excited about. The feedback that we continue to hear, and Shawn, I know you've played with the product. The feedback we continue to hear is that it really is a high quality product, and that the price point and the hands-free nature, is potentially transformative. And the way I think about this long term, Shawn, is, if you combine a high quality wearable, not only for everyday life, but in the workplace, for example, you have a lot of goals that we have that will dovetail into each other, right? And so I'm pretty excited about the roadmap as it relates to the glasses. And I'm sure Patrick will tell us, how we can shop through the glasses right away.
Wow, that employment, that's huge. I mean, there's a 70% unemployment rate for blind folks, and that, yeah, that I don't even know what to say about that. That's so amazing. That's so incredible, and has such a bright future with it. I mean, no product is flawless. No product comes without some hiccups along the way. But that's exciting.
Yeah,
Wow.
that statistic pisses me off for a bunch of reasons, but the two big ones is that it reflects a fundamental societal unfairness and inequity for the community of people who are blind or have low vision. The second reason it pisses me off is businesses of all kinds, enterprises of all kinds, are not getting the benefit of the power, creativity, an incredible work ethic that so many members of the blind and low vision community have. You know this better than me, Shawn, but like, so many people in the community deal with hundreds of obstacles every day and find a way around them. That's exactly the type of employee you want in a company. A person
Hmm.
who can get shit done, right? And get through all sorts of red tape and barriers of every day. And so I just swore on a live AMA. Sorry, I am who I am. I'm from Brooklyn. Um, um, but so anyway, that statistic has always really bothered me. And so we're going to try to attack it.
Fantastic, man. Fantastic. That's awesome. And that is a little softball attachment to the question I have, Patrick, is have y'all considered an app, like an app experience to search, be able to shop, the storefronts on through an app experience, and I don't know, are you gonna integrate them with the Meta glasses?
Yeah, I mean, those are great questions. Yeah, actually, I guess this will be the first place we announce it. Yeah, we recently went live on the Apple App Store and also the Google Play. So after a few months of going back and forth with them and making the fixes that they wanted, the app is now approved and live on both stores. So if you're on Apple phone or an Android, you can now access InnoSearch's services through our own native app. So yeah, download it, give it a try. We're still doing some accessibility testing to make sure it works well with VoiceOver and all the various technologies. But yeah, I'm happy to announce this long-awaited feature is now live.
Oh,
There's
wow.
also some other things in the pipeline that makes me very excited. I know in the previous question I talked a lot about phone, right? And that's something we want to lean more strongly into, especially around accessing digital services. So something in the pipeline that we are experimenting with that hopefully we'll make an announcement soon is an ability for you to dial a phone line, right, for any website and be able to access all of its functionality. So, for example, if you're trying to sign up for a convention, right, at the NFB, and that maybe is very challenging for some reason, you can dial a phone line and get access to that, right? Fill out the form and complete all the registration. So that's some things that we're working on and very excited by the potential. Also coming soon is there's going to be some accessibility improvements to Cobrowse. So right now, Cobrowse has all the functionality to browse a website. Right? You can tell it whatever task you want the AI agent to accomplish, and it will, through its own reasoning model, find the right path for you. But soon you'll also be able to tell it, I want to enhance the contrast. I want to increase the text size, right? And it'll be able to, in real time, make changes to the visual display of any website. So, if you're a senior and you much prefer larger print, you can tell Cobrowse to make the size 40% bigger, right? And it will automatically make those changes. So that's something also we'll be announcing soon once we can roll out that update.
That app you mentioned. I mean, that will make so many people happy, and that alone, I'm still focused on that. I mean, that's great. You mentioned a lot of things that are coming in, and that's great. But that app is just, there's some things I like to do on the web. There's some things I want to do on the computer, but there's sometimes I just want to use an app to do it. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, what we realized is there's just, options is really important, right? So people just want to have different ways of accessing, important services like shopping or whatever, right? And so we're here to provide more and more options for the end user. And yeah, an app has been long requested.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, I guess we're mentioning things that are in the works. I the website that we're working on, AIFTB, AI for the blind, basically AIFTB.com. We're working on an experience. I like to call it, it's kind of like AppleVis with AI steroids. And I have access to use the Cobrowse AI, and we'll be integrating that with our AI super website where people can go to learn how to do anything, how to make music, how to make pictures, and how to use Be My Eyes better or InnoSearch. I mean, it's going to be a one-stop shop once we're done, and whenever that is. So stay tuned for that. Definitely.
Yeah, that sounds super exciting. And we're happy to give you guys a phone line as well if people want to dial in and access all the information there.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. That's interesting. Guys, it is 12:37, and I do have two spare questions that I don't really want to get to. So, are either of y'all on the Facebook group? Has anybody dropped any questions in there?
Hey, Shawn, Stephen, the voice of the ether here. Just jumping in to say that on our YouTube channel, on the Double Tap YouTube channel, lots of questions coming in, loads of people enjoying the live stream here, and thanking you all for this. One question from Peg is, can deafblind users access InnoSearch? Patrick?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, we have quite a few users who are deafblind, and yeah, they very much enjoy the InnoSearch service. They purchase, actually, there's one user I'm thinking of in particular. He makes multiple purchases every week. So yes, absolutely accessible to deafblind as well.
And will the new app be available in the UK, asks Tim.
Yeah, so we actually are already available in the UK. We're available in 4 countries right now: the United States, Canada, Australia, and also the UK. Yes.
Well, that leads on to Nada's question, which is, when will InnoSearch be available in France?
Yeah, so expanding to more countries is definitely on the roadmap. I mean, there's a lot of things that we have planned to do. So yeah, France has been also requested many times, and yeah, we're adding it to our list. So hopefully coming
Oh,
to
come
you
on,
very
Patrick.
soon.
Patrick, when?
Yeah, that's soon. Hopefully, give us maybe 6 months. I'll just say that.
There you go.
One from Tim for Mike. Can we get the BME partners like Tesco to use InnoSearch technology to make their platforms more accessible? Kind of ties it
I think
into
that's a
both.
really cool idea. I don't know the answer yet, but I think we'd like to figure out a way to make that possible, right? Look, part of the reasons we partnered with InnoSearch in the first place is we have a deep respect for Patrick and Brian, the co-founders, as well as the fact that the product is just really good. And so, without divulging too much corporate strategy here, like I'd love to figure out more ways to partner with InnoSearch, and especially if it's with kind of big brands, big retailers, to create more accessible shopping experiences. I'd love that. I don't know exactly how we're going to do that yet or how to start attacking that, but I think it's an awesome idea.
And also one more question for you from YouTube for the moment, Mike. When is Mike letting his team have a holiday? It feels like they never rest.
Um, I'm secretly wondering if that's a member of my team in disguise asking that question, Stephen. So I will say this. Those folks are so committed, man, and I want to thank them. We don't do a lot of resting. And I think it's part of it is out of necessity and part of it is out of choice and love and desire. But we try to give a little balance here and there. But like, here's the truth is until kind of we get closer to achieving the mission of a much more accessible world, I think we'll lose a little sleep. We'll have some late nights. We'll have some weekends, and that's just the way it's going to be. But I think everybody has signed up with the knowledge that that's how we roll here. But and whoever that is in disguise from our team, thank you.
I think and what I found in my life is that when you do something you enjoy, when you do something you really believe in, it doesn't seem like work. Maybe that's it.
And I don't look. I don't want to sound like some tech CEO jerk, who's like balance is dead. But there's a little bit of truth in that, right? That like to do anything awesome, you probably have to have a little bit of a lack of balance and a little bit of obsession, and that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We got anything else, Stephen? Anything from the YouTube?
Nothing else on YouTube yet. Of course, you can keep your questions coming in. I know Patrick and Mike are keeping an eye on Facebook.
So Vicky asks if we have plans to create a Be My Eyes app for the Mac in the near future. The answer is yes. Be My Eyes for Windows was launched a little more than a year ago, and it still gets about 3,500 downloads every month. That is the product that caused us to say we need to build Be My Eyes Workplace, right? Because we saw this Windows Be My Eyes functionality getting all these downloads and usage. And so Workplace will work on both Windows and on Mac. So the answer to Vicky is question is yes, and thank you for asking it.
So is Workplace going to be something that is more on the user's end, or is that more the corporate side?
It's going to be both, right? There'll be a free version that anybody will be able to use, and then there will be an enterprise version that has enhanced security requirements that are required to get a company to buy it, right? And also some enhanced features with like rollover to a human, screen control, and screen sharing, and things like that. And so it will be available both at the consumer level and the enterprise level.
Wow, sounds like you could probably integrate some InnoSearch somewhere in there, probably.
I'm working on Patrick. I'm trying to pin him down.
All right. Anything else from the group?
I can give you a quick question here. This is from Peg on YouTube from Mike. What percentage of your staff are blind or low vision?
It's a little over 20%. So we have a brilliant kind of blind developer based in Copenhagen. We have a product manager based in just outside of London, a community manager also based outside of London. We have our vice chairman Brian Bashan, who is based in California, and so. A little more than 1 in 5, and I think at our team meeting at our leadership team meeting that we just had in Copenhagen a week and a half ago, we basically came to the conclusion that we want to hire more. And so, by the way, this doesn't include the beta testers that we pay to be part of several groups, but those obviously aren't full-time positions. But it's a good question and an important question, and so I think we have a reasonable percentage, but I think we can do better.
That's fantastic. And people, I don't think people realize that there's a lot of work in working in the assistive technology field, or for working with any disability group. Creating apps and experiences. There's definitely a lot of work to it.
There was one other question on the Facebook page that was if we're going to be partnering with government agencies on the workplace application. Gosh, I hope so. And the question came from the Westchester Council of the Blind of New York. So hit me up, Westchester Council, let's partner. But we definitely see potential for work with governments. And we've actually done some analysis about how we can make kind of government administration of social services and benefits and things like that better, faster, cheaper with this product. And so it's definitely something that we want. What we've learned is that governments, generally speaking, move a lot more slowly than enterprises. So, when you start talking to a government, it may take 1.5 years to get a deal done, but we're starting those conversations now. So it's a great question, and I hope we can succeed there.
I want to... Yeah, sorry, Shawn, carry on.
Oh, sorry. I was just say, I mean, I've gotten on a lot of government websites lately to fill out forms, and accessibility is great, and the job that accessibility folks have done, is great, but it still takes 30 minutes to find the right form, or if there was a way to AI that, and hopefully there will be someday, it'd save us all so many heart attacks, probably.
Yeah, I think there's so much to build here, guys. If you look at the problem that InnoSearch has tackled, and then you apply that, just navigating a website to government and the administration of social services, it's huge, right? Whether it's having to be on the phone waiting for government services for 1.5 hours, right? Or, Shawn, the occasional nightmare that you have with filling out forms for benefits or anything else. It's something that requires concrete focus.
Yeah, definitely. Stephen, what'd you get?
So a question from Aidan, who says, thank you, innovative people, for having this talk. In these changing times, blind people need to innovate ways of making a living. Do you think distributed computing could be a profitable way for individuals to assist AI platforms?
That sounds like a boring question. Anybody want to take that?
What do you think?
I can take a quick stab at it. Yeah, I think definitely. I feel what we're doing at InnoSearch, and as we are interacting more and more with our users, we feel that AI can play a bigger and bigger role in creating a unique experience, right? Since it doesn't matter what disability you have, right? It could be blind and low vision. It could be neurodiverse. You can maybe have some tremors when you're using your mouse. Maybe you have dyslexia, right? You need a special, how do I say a better word for that? Like a custom experience, a personalized experience for you, right? Because what you experience, right, is really tailored towards how you experience the world, right? And we think through a lot of training, a lot of feedback from our users, and many more users out there, we can create an experience that's truly tailored towards equal access towards all types of services.
Yeah, I definitely think that's important. And I'm blind. I'm totally blind. I've been blind all my life. So far, maybe not all my life yet, but that's there's other disabilities, and I don't know. I don't necessarily understand how other people do things. So a friend of mine recently was telling me about he does training for people that are quadriplegic and
Mm-hmm.
helping people learn how to use the eye movement to control the mouse, and it's like, wow, I didn't even know that was such a thing.
Yeah, and I think like the more general purpose models, like what OpenAI is building, again, is tailored towards people who are sighted, right, and experience the world in that way. But for people that experience the world differently, right, there's just so much more feedback that you can get, right? Similar to how, the large LLMs train themselves, you can thumbs up if you like the response or thumbs down, right? But through these specialized interactions with people with all sorts of disabilities, you can really start to understand, how they perceive the world and what might be a more optimal experience.
Yeah, and I think we've all learned from AI, and not just what blind people are doing with AI, but everybody is affected by how useful and creative AI allows people to be. Um, you know, all this just opens doors to people that never had the door open. Anyway, I could really get on a soapbox on that, but I won't. But Stephen, Mike, Patrick, we got any questions coming in? We got about 10 minutes left, I think.
We've got a ton coming in on YouTube, guys, so I can
Great.
throw some over to you. James asks, will we ever have the ability to set up an accessible storefront on our own rather than having to contact InnoSearch? And he also thanks everyone for taking part.
Yeah, so right now, since we've recently rolled it out, you still have to contact us. But over time, as we get more and more stores and a lot of people requesting it, obviously we plan to move towards a self-setup mechanism, right? So very similar to on Shopify today, you just navigate their site and you can do it on your own, although it's not accessible, right? We'll have an equivalent version on InnoSearch where, we'll do a lot of accessibility testing to make sure, you can easily on your own set up your store, upload your items, do all of that management. So those administrative dashboards is something in the pipeline. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. One for Mike, which kind of ties two questions into one here. Nada asks, will Be My Eyes be partnering with Envision glasses? And Peg asks, will you be working on being on Agiga's EchoVision glasses?
Great questions. I'm actually supposed to meet with Kartik from Envision next Wednesday or Thursday. He's out in our neck of the woods here in California. And so we respect those guys, and I hope we can find a way to work together, but I don't know the answer yet. Agiga has contacted us, and we are always willing to partner with any kind of hardware product, particularly on the call a volunteer thing. And so we've basically told the Giga that we're open to them building an integration where people can call a volunteer. So, the way I think about this is, of course, we have a special relationship with Meta, right? And we love that product. But to Meta's credit, they're not saying to us that in the future we can't work with any other hardware, right? Which I think shows that I think they're genuine about wanting assistive technology to be broadly distributed. And so whether it's a Giga or Solo or whomever, like, we're open to kind of working on any piece of hardware that we think is quality, is legit, that treats the community that uses the product with respect. And so the short answer is yes. And I think it's a great question. Thank you for asking it.
Just a couple again for you, Mike, from Tim. Do you see challenges with enterprises allowing Be My Eyes and the use of, say, Meta glasses. And Roberto kicks in with this one. Is there going to be a Be My Eyes workplace offer available for those in the blind community who are self-employed?
On the latter question, for self-employed, yes. And we have already talked about a free version of this. And I think I want to talk to our people, but like if you're an individual or a very small business that's kind of blind owned, we want to do this for either super expensive or for free. So keep me honest on that. Hit us up. Yes. What was the question before that one, Stephen? Say it again. Sorry.
That was about seeing challenges with enterprise allowing Be My Eyes and the use of Meta glasses.
The short answer is yes. So we're in conversations with a Fortune 25, a huge company right now, and we know that their blind or low vision employees want to use those glasses at work. And we are just midway through slogging through the security reviews and things like that. And so I think that there will be challenges. What gives me some optimism is, look, it's clearly in Meta's interest to architect this in a way that lets enterprises use it and feel that it's safe, secure, private, all the above. It's clearly in the blind or low vision user's interest to figure out a way to do that. And from us, from a revenue standpoint and partnership with the company, it's in our interest. So generally speaking, I think when you have all those interests aligned, there's a path through. It may take some time, but I'm cautiously optimistic.
Okay, we get time, I think, for a couple more questions, Shawn, I think. So I'm going to just throw one to Patrick here. Will Patrick be looking at integrating with apps like 1Password for Cobrowse to help with logins?
Yeah, that's something that we're exploring, actually. We've gotten some accessibility testers telling us, a big improvement on the authentication process would be nice, especially around like processing of payment, right? Is there a way to link Apple Pay? So when I'm, loaded up my cart on the phone and I just have to authenticate via app, right? So those are great usability improvements that we definitely are looking into and researching to make sure, we can continually enhance our tool. I think Cobrowse and the new accessibility improvements we plan to layer onto that will be a huge potential, right? I think, not just for the existing InnoSearch site, but basically all other websites out there, right? It's a smart AI accessibility agent, right? That can understand you and complete tasks on your behalf, right? Or if you want it to help with the existing experience, it can also, make edits to the page in real time, right? It can tag images with alt text. It can fill out forms for you, right? So we think there's just so much potential in this, right? And great opportunity to scale up the impact, right? To even move past shopping, right? And just help, like Mike was saying, right? There's just so much potential for this technology, workplace, governments. A lot of opportunity for this stuff.
Liz asks a very quick question, Patrick, maybe just a one-word answer on this. Will you be adding a barcode reader into the search feature on the app?
Yeah, search by picture is a very interesting thing. I think there's already a lot of existing technologies we can piggyback off of. That's a great suggestion. We'll keep it in the backlog, absolutely.
And finally, from YouTube for the moment, Jamal asks, I posted this in the group, but I figured I'd ask you as well. For Be My Eyes, do you plan on offering beta testing opportunities for BME glasses and even app products?
Yes. And right now we kind of have a pretty large group on a channel, a Slack channel and a couple other places of beta testers, but we talk a lot about how we kind of expand these opportunities and build on them. I don't have a clear answer about what's going to happen in the near term on that, but it's very clear to me overall that we need to expand that. And so I saw Jamal's comment on Facebook, and I plan to reach out.
That's my web developer. So great.
Oh, this is an inside job. Here we go, Shawn. Now you tell me.
Yeah. Thanks, thank y'all so much for being here, for helping me do this, and it's been a lot of fun. And I'm going to turn it over to Steven to close it out because he knows how to do this better than I do.
Really? Is that the case? Is it? Listen, thank you guys so much for being here. I just want to say, I think we didn't get a chance to do this at the start, but just for you, Shawn, congratulations on getting through this, because it's not an easy thing, is it?
No, you make it look so easy. You and Shawn, man.
Yeah, I was more stressed out about this one than I was about anything else, to be perfectly honest. But no, I'm so glad it's gone so well. And I really do appreciate the work you've done. I also appreciate Mike and Patrick giving us the time. Also, all your questions as well. Those of you who are joining us on the AI for the Blind group, hello, it's Double Tap. How are you? And yes, just a reminder really to check this show out every day, of course, on podcast and YouTube. But also you can check out the Double Tap Extra feed where a replay of this will be made available. Shawn and I are going to work on that. That's my new friend, Shawn, my new favorite Shawn. That's what we're going to call you.
I can't take the shoes of Shawn Priest at all.
No, they're pretty big shoes, I will admit. I mean, He really does have big feet. But no, we're really glad to be able to do this. And you can check it all out. Thank you to those of you who joined us live. YouTube, of course, you can catch the replay. And in the Be My Eyes app as well, Mike.
Yes, sir. I have a question for Stephen and Shawn.
Okay.
Are we going to do more of this and more of this live stuff?
Yes.
I think that, we all know the importance of content and, the service that it provides to the community of people we all work with and for. So we're going to do more of this, guys?
Absolutely.
We'll twist Steven's arm, but I hope so.
I'm for it. I am definitely up for doing more of this.
Cool.
It's been a lot of fun. Shawn, do you want to take it out and just maybe remind people, for those who were tuning in at the start, about that music, because that was great, that song at the beginning. What was that all about?
Yeah, so I think I'm an AI artist or something. I don't know. I just like making AI music, and I have a YouTube channel. It's called Blind Guy from Texas Records. It's just fun. Go check. The music's good. The music is entertaining and positive, and it'll make you feel good. And that's why I do it. It helps me.
It's
No
really
more than
cool,
that.
man. And it sounds like you could open up for, Robert Earl Keen.
Okay. I mean, I'm down, but I don't think it'll happen. But oh, thanks, y'all.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot, everyone. And thanks for watching and listening.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.